Jackie, Kashian, Laurie Kilmartin.
Hello.
491, 9 away from 500. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
It is. Here we are at 491. I was so tired, but I wanted to do a set. Oh wait, I should do my dates. So I'm in the Midwest right now, and we will talk about it. But this Friday, I'm doing Rochester, Minnesota with Minneapolis. The Saturday, I'm doing Eau Claire, Wisconsin with Maria. With Minneapolis with Maria Bamford.
We're tired.
Right, Rochester, Eau Claire, and Green Bay. Go to JackieKashian.com, MariaBamford.com. Those are the three I'm opening for her here. And then next week I'm back in LA. I'm doing Better Half. I'm doing that barbecue gig in El Segundo. And then I'm back in Minnesota doing Acme June 11th through the 14th. Anyone who lives anywhere near there, if you could come to Acme June 11th through the 14th, because I would like to fill the room at my home club. And that's and then the June 18th, I'm with Maria at Irvine. The 23rd, I'm doing the Crow. That I'm doing, I think, the following week, Ontario and Livermore with Maria. So that's June. That's June for me.
Guys, welcome to the Jackie and Laurie show. I'm sorry that you don't even know what the fuck you're listening to. Just a voice listing her comedy dates with no name attached. So welcome to
we've
our show.
We've never done that before. Yeah, it's just 9 years later. That's all we do.
That was Jackie Kashian. I'm Laurie Kilmartin. Let's see. My June is full, which and it mocks the rest of my year, which is almost empty. I mean, this is shocking. I can't believe how bad it is. But let's focus on the good part, which is June. So let's see. 6th and 7th, I'm at Dr. Grin's in Grand Rapids, Michigan. 13th and 14th, I'm doing Stir Crazy in Phoenix, Arizona, or a suburb of, I think, Glendale. The 21st, I'm in San Leandro doing that outdoor show, and I think I have 20 minutes I didn't do last year that are clean enough for children. But we'll see. I'll be combing through. I'll be listening to that set from last year to double check. And the 27th through July 2nd, I will be in New York City doing spots. So if you're in New York, come out and see a spot.
We love spots. Yes. So that is stand-up comedy. So I've had a family weekend. I've had on Saturday I had to fly to Minneapolis for my niece's wedding. And then there was a wedding breakfast the next day. And then today, Monday, the day we're recording, was my other niece, her baby shower.
Nice.
So, and then I got in the car and I drove to Milwaukee, 6 hours, to see my dad, my other brother, and his two kids, and my sister-in-law. So I just got here.
So are you in Milwaukee, Wisconsin right now?
Right now.
Okay.
In the Milwaukee area.
I don't have a good sense of the Midwest and how far things are apart from each other. I didn't know it was a 6-hour drive from Minneapolis. I mean, they both cities start with an M, so they should be pretty close to each other, in my opinion. But I'm not a geographer.
Right, and if you were a geographer, that's how you would name cities.
For sure. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just got back today too. This is for us. This is Monday, Memorial Day, and so yesterday my son, of course, he graduated on Friday night. That was pretty cool.
Woo!
I don't know. I see other teenagers that seem all excited and proud, and he's like got this dead-eyed, get me the fuck out of here look on his face in every picture. And I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. He's not into high school. Did not care for his high school, which supposedly it's in a good school district, but I would disagree. But anyway, so it's yesterday, he drove to Big Bear. It was me, his father, and Charmy. So that's a pretty harrowing drive. I know you've made it, Jackie. It's
not in years, yeah.
Oh, but yeah, it's like driving a Tahoe. It's just narrow, 2-lane highway, up through mountains, and so it can be pretty. Lots of curves, lots of 20-mile-per-hour curves, and I put the student driver sticker on the back of our car so people would, back off,
chill out,
not be assholes and tailgate him. And he was pulling into the turnouts pretty regularly. He was conscious of that, but he did a great job. And then we took Charmy on a couple of killer hikes.
Nice.
One killer hike, and then we went to this dog park that was empty and ran her ragged. And she looks like I do when I lifted weights and I'm too sore. Like, she can barely move, and I've never seen her so exhausted. It really makes me laugh. And so he drove back this morning, and again, another long day in traffic, but he did pretty well. So I think he'll be getting his license sometime over the summer.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I wanted to stay, because here's what happened last week is we had to, and I was at breakfast with friends of mine, who I've had, they're Minneapolis comic friends. And so I went to breakfast. One of them is going back to South Dakota. I think I told you this, is going back to South Dakota to take care of his parents. No?
Oh, right. Yeah.
And another friend brought a card. It was very nice. I don't see comics giving other comics cards, but she brought a card with sort of a going away card. I didn't bring a card, and so I gave him $1.
Oh, that's very nice of you. I guess you're on a delay. I kind of hear my audio through your. Do you hear that, Kyle?
I did on that chunk there. Jackie or Laurie, speak again.
Here I am speaking. I'd like to say that usually comedians, when we give each other cards, when it has a QR code on it to our CD that we hope you would download. That's about it. We're not card people.
Right. And so Jim tucked the $1 in where the card was, and Jennifer leaned over and said, Jackie doesn't get any credit for the card. You can't put them together. And then I was reminded of it because at the wedding, I handed my niece $100 in cash. And then today at the baby shower, I handed my other niece $100 in cash. No cards. They're just going to throw the cards out. Just
totally. Absolutely. Yeah. You're giving them garbage. You really are. And
right.
I know Megan.
No
Markle,
cards.
Megan Sussex loves to write cards, and I think people sometimes they think everyone's going to keep the card they make, and maybe you would from Megan Sussex, but from your auntie, no, it goes right in the trash.
I have a friend of mine who's from college who sends me postcards, and I kind of like getting them. But I don't keep them unless I did keep one that had a cool picture on it, but every other one out the door. But I do like receiving snail mail in handwriting. It was kind of nice. But I had to fly out on Saturday morning at a 5 o'clock flight. 5:30 flight.
Oh my God! Why do you do this to yourself? It
angers
me.
Well, we had to kill the cat last week, right?
Wait, what?
We had to put the cat down last week. Did I tell you that?
Did you tell me this? I don't think you did. And what a way to launch that information at me. We had to kill the cat last week.
You know what? The cat did not die of natural causes. I don't know how else to put it.
It was murdered, I guess.
Right.
I'm quoting you.
Right. I'm not saying there's going to be a BritBox show about it. I'm just saying that the cat was very weak and very ill, and so we had the vet come. And I guess the way you put it is put it down, put it to sleep. The cat passed on. Whatever. Very sad. Cat had to be made to go away. And
right.
The cat is the last connection that with Chris. I mean, she has her dog
right.
too, but the dog was really Fran's. So Andy was super sad, and so I was hugging him, and the dog, Tyson, her dog, was Fran's dog, stood next to us, and all of a sudden I heard psst.
Oh no.
And the dog was just peeing in the house right next to us as I hugged Andy.
As you embraced?
Yes. And I said, is the dog peeing right next to me? And he goes, damn it, I can't even be sad. And then I said, I have to go change my socks. So, So he had to go to work. He had a convention up in San Francisco called Kubla Khan. It's a convention, Kubla Convention, and called Kubla Khan, and it's a gaming
Is that
convention.
named after a song, like a Beatles song or something? No.
There's the reference Kubla Khan is a very old one, and I can't remember what it is offhand, but it's obviously a nerd joke.
Okay.
And so Andy went to the con on Thursday, so I could have flown out on Friday. But remember, I just came back from Minneapolis, so I wanted to just stay one more day.
Right.
And so I flew out, and I was so tired because I had barely recovered. It's taking me days to recover from the flights. It's very sad, but
Awful.
yeah. So Friday, I packed. I cleaned up the house a little bit. I had everything organized, and I gave away a bunch of the cat food and stuff. But I asked Flappers for a set because I have this new chunk I'm working on, and he gave me 2 sets in the Yoo-Hoo room, and I could not make it to the second set. I had to find him and say, "Can I not do the second? I'm so sorry. I'm just."
I would have done it.
I know I should have called you. I didn't know.
No, it was graduation night. I wouldn't have.
No. Oh, right. So the lift picked me up at 3:15.
Oh, God.
I go to the airport. I get on the airplane. I fly to Phoenix. I make the connecting flight. Luckily, it's easy peasy. I get to Minneapolis at 1:00. The wedding is at 4. So I go to the hotel, the Acme Hotel, which is the only hotel I stay at in Minneapolis, because I've been staying there for 27 years. Leave me alone.
It's like home. Yeah,
it is.
I love that place. Yeah,
it's great, and the pool is open.
Yes, and I would say, how many weeks, like in the course of your life, you may have lived there up to 6 months.
Right. And even this month, this is the second time I've been there. So, but they didn't have my room ready, so I went and I didn't have a chance to shower. I just came back at 3. My sister had picked me up and let me take my niece's car, and so all I did was put on dress clothes and go to the wedding. And the wedding was so pretty, and it was wonderful, right? It was very sweet. I lasted from 4 p.m. with the wedding starting to 8:45.
That's a lot.
It's plenty. I was of service to the wedding. I took a lot of photos, but I was super, super tired. I'd hit a wall. And so I said, I'm just going to go back. And as I drive back, I'm like, who is at Acme?
You're tired, but you're not that tired. I understand. You're not comedy tired. You're tired of being around humans. Sure.
I did a set at my Kaplan's second show.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, it was Mike Kaplan, and I bought his book. He has a really good book idea. So it looks kind of like a children's book. Yeah. But he's taken his one-liners and he's hired an artist to draw a little scene. So they're like it's sort of like the New Yorkers, except for in color. The New Yorker cartoon.
And so are they selling okay?
I don't know. I bought one, and they cost him like $12-13 a piece, and he charges $25. And I was like, just charge $30. You're hauling books around, and but they cost it. But he self-publishes, and they're little hardcovers. They're great.
Oh, cool.
Really cool looking. I wish I had it actually handy, but I don't.
You know, when I took my sewing class, the woman that was teaching the sewing class, did I tell you this? Has the exact same speech cadence as Mike. And I'm like, if I go back, I think I will, because I want to. I'm going to tell her she has to listen to Mike Kaplan, because they hit words the same way. It's crazy. It was really jarring for about 40 minutes till I got used to it.
Maybe it's Boston. Maybe it's
it does not, nothing about him sounds like Boston.
Right, but he
has his own thing. Bill Burr sounds like Boston. Mike Kaplan does not, right?
Right. So the next day, my friend Leslie Ball, you think, here's what you might not know about Leslie Ball, is she's she's a musician from Minneapolis, and for a decade or more, she had a show at a theater from midnight to 2 on Saturday nights. So,
Wow.
like after your show, you could go there, and it was music, and it was drumming, and it was dance, and it was hippy skippy stuff, and you could try weird stand up. And I would always try like my weird stories that needed, somewhere safe to start.
Right.
And Maria used to do it all the time. And the last time I was home and had lunch with Leslie, I told her that Maria does those 8 a.m., 10 a.m. shows sometimes.
Yeah.
And Leslie, who is a little bit older than we are, said, wait, maybe do you think people would come to an afternoon show? I can't do the late night. I can't do a midnight to 2 on Saturday night anymore. I can't face it.
Yeah.
And so now
I know, it's brutal.
So
Who can? Does Ron Lynch still do his midnight show?
I think he does, or I think
Okay,
he might have just
Must
ended
be on
it.
drugs. Okay. Yes.
Right. So Leslie is now doing a Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Same
And
vibes.
same vibes and same audience. They're aging out. So everybody in Minneapolis, it's at the Strike Theater, which used to be a munitions plant in Northeast Minneapolis. So,
Wow.
and it's free. It's donation to come in. So it's like she recommends $5 to $15 if you got it, but nobody's charging anybody. So, but it's storytelling and it's music and it's fun. So I'm going to make her a flyer and I'm going to post.
Oh, that's
just
nice.
because she should get people. And I did that yesterday afternoon after I went to the wedding breakfast hang, and then I went and did that, and then I did a dork for us last night about Alpha Flight, which is a Marvel Canadian. It's a Canadian Marvel Avengers essentially.
Mhm.
And then I literally didn't respond to anybody's texts or phone calls at 10:30 at night, and I just went to sleep. And I woke up this morning at 10 a.m. and I went to my niece's baby shower, which was at
Who
11:30.
who is, by the way, texting you at 10:30 at night anyway? Are there people doing that to you?
Yeah, they wanted to know if I wanted to have breakfast in Minneapolis. And I said, I
oh,
gotta do it on June 11 to 14. I will be back. I will be back at Acme. We can have breakfast. So,
Mhm.
but I did. I got to work on this great piece twice. And I did it at Acme, and nobody cared. They were riveted, but there weren't a lot of laughs. And then
Okay.
I did it at Balls, and they were expecting not to laugh, so they laughed, and they were also entertained.
I did a compilation, or I took the Friday Late Show from when I was at Acme in
Mm-hmm.
January, and it was a classic Friday Late Show. There was just so much going on, so many different weirdos, and a guy walking on the stage twice. Walked on the stage to go to the bathroom, and then walked on the stage to return to a seat, ruining two separate jokes.
Right.
But it was like, who cares, whatever. And so it took me hours to compile it into like 6 minutes.
Wow.
Like it just takes so long to do.
Yeah.
But it's up. It's up
It's
on
up.
all my socials. If anyone
Right.
cares.
So if you want to take a gander, are you still doing TikTok?
Yeah, I posted it on TikTok. Yeah, I don't do TikTok. I just post stuff I put on Instagram, also on TikTok. I don't know.
That's good though.
Ted Alexandro, I saw on some posts, he's like re-recording old bits that I think he never put on an album and putting them on an album, which
Nice.
is including my favorite bagel and a grape. I don't know. That's the punchline. I hear it in my head like once a week where they complain that they're starving. They're like, all I had today was a bagel and a grape. But the way it's all in delivery, it's not funny on paper. It's total Ted Alexander delivery, and it's fucking
Right.
hilarious, and it cracks me up all the time whenever I think about him. He's like, I love it when you have a comics joke in your head, and every time you think of it, like it's like a free laugh. They get another laugh out of me, you know?
Right. It is. I do your material at breakfasts all over this country.
Hey, my son is a Stubbs member. He's seeing 3 movies a week.
Oh, right.
At AMC. That's a pretty good deal if you have the summer off and you have nothing else going on.
Right. Isn't he cleaning some fast food place?
That guy never called back. So we went, I drove him to the pizza place. I mean, I didn't have to, he could have walked.
Mhm.
But I'm a supportive mom.
Yeah.
And he goes in, comes out 10 minutes later. He's like, I got the job. He's going to call me next week. He said to get some shoes that I guess like have the sole where you can, walk on a slippery surface. I don't know,
Okay.
work shoes or some kind of sole. He goes, you can get them at Walmart. And we decided to wait to hear from the guy before we went to Walmart to get these shoes. And he never contacted him again.
And he never called him again?
No, I mean he was contacted through Indeed, so it wasn't like a one, he had anyone's email address. I
Okay.
don't think he was super excited about the job. And then, like when the guy didn't call him back and it was like, all right, I guess it's not happening.
I was told that you got to know somebody to even get like a Jimmy John's job now.
Yeah, that's
It's
so
weird.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he has submitted hundreds of resumes to places. He goes to the mall, he goes and visits the stores, and they all say you have to apply online, and he does
Yep.
that, and nothing. It's really crazy.
Yeah. Well, that is. What's he seen? Did he get to see Sinners? Did he get to see Thunderbolts?
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, he's seen Thunderbolts several times. We saw Sinners. The thing is he's actually making okay money on his YouTube and TikTok content. So he's going to spend the
Right.
summer, like getting on a schedule of now that he doesn't have to waste his time at school. He's going to be putting out tons of content. He's going abroad next fall. Did I tell you this?
His first semester is a semester abroad.
Yes.
Okay, where's he
So-
going?
I'll keep that, Mom. But he's
Okay.
going overseas, and he'll be gone for 3 months, and it will be the first time that I've been alone since he was born.
Right.
So it'll be really crazy and weird for me.
So his dad's
but-
moving in. Is that what you're saying? Into the garage?
Probably. You never know. Everything lapses in my world when I try to have
You get a
one
little
night
solo
alone,
time.
it all falls apart.
Right. Well, that's cool. I hope he has a great time.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
I mean, he's excited. It's weird to, he's excited to be done with school and excited for what's next. And he's very negative but positive at the same time.
Okay.
Interesting mix. Anyway,
That
I'm
is.
excited too. I'm on I'm a crew member on his ship, and I'm excited to see where the next port is.
Yes, and how hopefully you don't have to put any fires out. You're doing great. It's I don't know.
We
I
had
don't
a
even know.
Zoom show.
Oh, we did have a Zoom show.
It
That
was pretty
fun.
good.
Yeah.
Actually, you recorded it, right?
No, it didn't take because
Oh, okay.
Judah Friedlander tried to record it.
Oh, I see.
And so
Okay.
several people asked me for it. And I was like, because they said, oh, it got recorded to the cloud. And so I checked the cloud
Yeah,
and I got nothing.
not there.
Mhm.
Okay, because I wondered how I said one thing, but whatever. I'll figure it out.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know if I should have done more time, but I felt like I'd done the kind of stuff I was working on, and I didn't have anything new besides that. But maybe people wouldn't have given a shit if I did some older, newer stuff.
I don't think they would have. I think they would have been psyched. It's and if you got to work on stuff, you got to work on stuff. And I think especially the Zoom audience gets that.
Mm-hmm.
We had 108 people.
Yeah,
I suppose 103 because there were 5 comics. I suppose.
yes,
But-
we don't count.
Mhm.
And and we still have good turnouts, and they're good audiences.
Yeah,
And
they
then we threw up some GoFundMe's for some of the people who need money from the Eaton fire. You know, that stuff died down pretty quickly, and
Yeah.
everyone still
And
needs
yet
money. So
they still. I think I did tell you that I went to breakfast in Altadena a couple of weeks ago, and there's still 24-hour trucks pulling debris out still.
God.
Still pulling out debris. So if people want to donate to some Eat and Fire people, how do you know that they're real? What kind of research do you do?
What do I? None.
Okay, you just if somebody's getting $15 that didn't deserve $15, good for them. They did what they could.
When someone goes to the trouble to put together their whole story, and I don't know, to me it doesn't seem
Close enough for government
not
work.
legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did. You know, it's weird because I donate to Palestinians too on GoFundMe, and one of my GoFundMe's was refunded, and no one said why. And then later on Twitter, somebody said that their GoFundMe was refunded because the entire family had been killed. So I hope that's not why mine was refunded. It was like a young mom and her baby trying to relocate into Europe, but
right.
Whatever. I'm just saying. I guess I brought that up because GoFundMe does sort of try to verify everything, and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, they're trying, and I'm trying to figure out who might want to buy my special, which I'm not filming until November now. I was going to do it in June, and now I'm glad I am not, just because I just wrote this big giant new chunk, and so now I'm going to do it in November, and I'm supposed to do it in Portland at the Siren. But then I was also talking about maybe doing it in LA, but I don't know if I could fill a room in LA. And because I would want to do 2.
Yeah.
I'd want to shoot 2. So I don't know. I just want to worry about the stand up. I want to get a set list going, and just work on that set list. That's what I'd like to do. And I have this new chunk that's I think it's pretty great, and I don't know if it'll make it into this album or if it'll be on the next one. But Mike Kaplan told me that he calls them in between albums.
Yeah.
And they're because all of his albums have a theme. And so he does the theme jokes, and if it doesn't fit in with the theme, he doesn't do those jokes. And then he does an in-between album. What I do is I do a set. And the set kind of has a theme, but then in it is some weird driving jokes and some other... I also had somebody tell me, they said they were listening to all my albums, and I was like, thank you. But they said, they started the way they said it. It was so interesting. They said, a lot of comics don't repeat. And I just started getting angry. And then what they weren't saying repeating jokes, because I have repeated some like one-liners, but what they were talking about was that, like, when I introduce my dad, I always say, I always give some sort of, so that you don't have to know. Like, what if someone's just listening to one album? It's got to be Monster of the Week, right? You have to be able to jump in and know who I'm the youngest of 6. I've said it a gajillion times, but I don't want to not say it so that people don't have context. Like, if you're a super fan, that's great.
Is your joke about your intro joke always the same about your dad? Is that what they're saying? Or
yeah, they're saying that I always talk about my dad's a salesman. Or I always sort of introduce whoever I'm introducing into the plot of the joke. I always I give some sort of vital statistic.
Right.
And they said, it's weird because I've never heard that other comics do that. And I was like, oh, well, I don't listen to comedy. Who knows what other comics are doing?
Right. I mean, here's the thing. Your dad is someone that you like to talk about, right? So, of course, he's going to come back again and again. You're not finished with that topic, I don't know. Gaffigan mentions his kids all the time. I think it's the biography of your life, and I think people know that. I don't think that's repetitive. He's an endless object of fascination for you. You're trying to figure him out via jokes, and you have been for 35 years.
Oh my God. Can I tell you that I got a picture today from my sister-in-law here in Muskego? They went to visit the grave. They went to the graveyard today, right? So buried in the graveyard is my grandmother and my biological mother, my mother. And my dad will be planted next in between the two of them, exactly where he doesn't want to be. And but
Wait, between his mother and his
ex-wife, yes, he has absolutely no interest. He'd prefer to go to the VA. My sister has told him she's not going to two graveyards. So but so Sue, my sister-in-law, sent me a picture of my mother's headstone, and she said, "Elliot, my dad, Elliot wants." He wants to lay down and have me take a picture of him lying down in between the two gravestones. And I said, "Oh my God, I wish you had done it." Of course, he is 88. We don't know if he could get back up. So, yeah, it's just, it made me laugh. So I'm going to post it on Instagram.
Yeah. I think like your dad is an overriding theme of your life, Jackie.
It's true. I'm having lunch with him tomorrow after he goes to the podiatrist. So nobody's taken advantage of the VA more than Elliot Kashian has. So, and he wasn't even in a war. So don't forget to thank him for his service.
I love it. That's my favorite thing.
Yes.
I think my albums are all just, except for 45 Jokes About My Dead Dad, are club sets.
Mhm.
You know, so we end on a dick joke, or we end on a callback or something that you end a club set on. I'm not like theming things out. Sorry, I still work Friday night late
If there
shows.
is-
I'm not working theaters. Okay, so this is a club set that has to keep people's attention while they're being interrupted by the wait staff, while they're getting a check drop, while XYZ's happening, and I have to fit in jokes that are really sharp and hard, and then surround them with softer ones so that I can keep everyone's attention. So it's not a theme. The theme is this is the set I was doing at this time in comedy.
Slice of life is what it really is.
Well, it's weird because if you're working theaters, you don't have to worry about the club stuff. So you can kind of do whatever you want. But if you're just still working clubs, it's going to be a club set where you have to, keep everyone's attention, and sometimes do some dick jokes you wouldn't necessarily do, but you're like, oh, I have to feed the beast, or, they'll get restless,
Right. Well, I think about because sometimes I'll pick sort of a strong bit or a signature bit off of the club set, and that's what I'll name the album.
Right.
With this next album, where I'm thinking about doing a trilogy, though it could be a duology, and then I won't have to fucking worry about it being a trilogy. But because I made the poster for the July. There's I made a little a slug for the July in London show, and then I had to write down what the theme of the show was.
Oh, they want to know that?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
So European.
Assuming that you're working on some Edinburgh set, right? That's
to some extent, yeah. That's what people do. Yeah, they do a theme. So I did altercation, just because that's the and in the writing of the blurb, I just said that I called the first one Staycation because we were home, and there was a lot of jokes about that. And then this one's called Altercation because I live here in the United States. So.
Yeah, I wonder what it would be like to have come up in that scene where when I recorded Corset, my album, it was just, that's a club set, but I realized all these jokes are about me dealing with having my mother live with me and having a young child and working and all that kind of stuff. So Corset was sort of like, that's what I felt like I was bound in by all these people and
Yeah.
circumstances, right? But it wasn't like I was thinking of that theme the entire time. It was something I just thought of
Ever.
afterwards.
Yes, that's what I usually do. Hey, do you want to take a break, Kyle?
Let's do it.
And let's do Comic of the Week. Comic of the Week, yeah, Leah Folta, Folta, Leah, Leah. I saw her because I just went to see. In LA, there are shows that are table reads of people's pilots. And so I went to the Elysium last week, and I saw a thing called co-pilots. And if someone has written a pilot, and then they cast people to read that, do a table read of it. And then they have a comic do 20 minutes up front.
Oh, nice.
And Leah Folta did the 20.
Cool.
And she was hilarious. She was really great. Really good comic.
Cool.
And to do 20 in front of people that are there to not see stand-up, she did great. She was really good.
Hard.
So at Leah Folta. Folta, right?
Folta.
There you go.
That reminds me of this one time Andy Richter. His brother was running for the House of Representatives in Illinois, and he was doing a fundraiser at Andy's house. And Andy asked me to come out and do 10 minutes, and I was like, sure. And then I get there, it's comedy luminaries. It's like Jane Lynch. It's a bunch of writers, and I'm like, this is my nightmare to perform in front. And I told them, I said, I'm sorry, I had no idea you guys would be here. Believe me, I will not go long. I will do exactly 10, and then I'll get the fuck out. I apologize. Yeah.
Yeah, you show up and all of a sudden it's just like, oh, Dick Van Dyke is here? Fantastic. Carol Burnett.
Yeah.
That was me doing that backyard show back from COVID with Laurie, where I'm like, oh, the rest of the show's Maria Bamford and the writing staff of Conan is half the audience.
Right. That was intense when the writing staff of Conan was there. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, at the house.
That is the thing I will always think about. I'm like, oh, this is the perfect first set back in a year and a half.
Oh my God, Robin Tran was there, and Maria.
Yep.
One of many luminaries on the show.
Yeah,
also
it was
me.
a fun show. It was. You are a luminary. It was cool, and we spent $800 on a speaker that we've never used since. That I still have, and it takes up, I don't know, 1/3 of my garage.
But now you're about to have a lot of space because you got 3 months living alone.
You know what? I'm like, what am I gonna do to I have to get rid of a lot of his stuff. He has just a lot of junky. He just lives. It's a shocking pile of clothing that he lives in. You know? it's awful, and but he has to not be here for me to just go, to visualize different things with the space. I guess, you know.
Yeah. Awesome. I thought of a joke. So when I went to breakfast and told everybody that we killed the cat, I have other conversations, but I was told that I actually don't. Is that almost everything that comes up in a conversation reminds me of a bit that someone does. And so since I don't have great social skills, I will sometimes say, oh, Maria does a bit about that. Oh, Laurie does a bit about that. Oh, whatever and whatever. It was, so I told the story of somebody's bit, and then Jennifer McLean reminded me of Karen. You remember Karen Korn? Do you ever know Karen?
You know what? She was one of those comics I heard about, but I don't think I ever worked with her.
Right.
She was a Minneapolis comic, right?
No, she's L.A., but I think she did Seattle for a while.
Korn with a K, right?
K with a corn. K with a corn.
Great name, Karen Korn.
Right. And she was a camera person. That was her job. She ended up committing suicide, and
No.
Yeah. She was from Alaska, and someone reminded me. It just reminded me of Brody, right. But she had this amazing joke because she was from Alaska. She said, "I'm from Alaska, and it's pronounced Alaska, not Alaska."
Oh man, hilarious.
and it just made me miss her, and how she was great.
Mm-hmm.
So be it.
Gosh.
Everybody, don't kill
Was she our
yourselves. It's
age?
annoying. Exactly. Yes.
Was she?
Yep.
Oh,
And it happened probably. It was pre-COVID, so 6 years ago or so. So very
but
sad.
she stopped doing stand-up.
Yeah, I don't know actually. I don't know.
It's the only thing keeping me alive. Trust me, I'm obsessed
Well,
now.
that's why that's why I laughed, because it does keep me alive as well. As a matter of fact,
I'm a shark that keeps swimming. If I don't have enough spots, I'm in danger of being sucked into the hole. And I don't have enough spots, by the way. So
no,
my life is in danger, gang.
Only you can save Laurie Kilmartin, people.
That's
Get
right.
those
With
spots.
your
Josh! Josh!
literally your shittiest gig will save my life. Okay, I don't
Heroes, all
care.
of you.
I don't care if it's outdoors in a laundromat. I don't care. Please save my life.
And that being said, none of this is happening. Is if you could do flappers, you could probably do the Yoo-Hoo room. Josh should get you some work-ins probably.
Oh yeah, no, I'm doing some on Friday, but yeah, this is just a general,
Just in general.
let's not
Please.
call out names of people. It's just weird to be like, hey, book me on a podcast, okay? So let's just, please. I'm just saying in general.
Oh, okay. You would like in general, and I
Yes.
would like to tell you about someone in Agora Hills named Luis. No, I don't know anybody, but I want him to have a laundromat, and then I want to do stand up there. I'll do stand up anywhere.
I might go open up the old comedy bureau and see what's happening,
Yeah, he'll know. He
Mhm.
knows. He knows
Yeah,
everything.
He posts everything. It's I don't even, if I went to an open mic, would I just how long am I gonna be? I don't know. It's like it's so much easier if someone just books me, which is yeah. Everyone's like yeah,
Right.
but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
But I entirely get it. I did an afternoon in a munitions factory.
But you know what I was thinking? I'm like, what? There'll be a time in my life where I won't do this anymore, right? And I won't. What will it be like to live where I'm not always worried that I haven't had enough stage time that week, that I'm getting rusty? If you just let that go and it's over, and I don't have to get stage time. I don't have to put in for spots. I don't have to hope I get 3 spots this week and worry about forgetting how to perform and all that kind of stuff. Like, it has been the overriding concern of my entire adult life is getting stage time, and it is fucking exhausting.
Right. So I think the sewing class is a step in the right direction. And so I'm going to type a name in the chat. I also see Kyle has chatted us a little bit.
I gave you some Kubla Khan information.
There we go.
That guy.
That guy is sort of semi-retiring. He's slowing down. And because he invited me to hang, and I of course am working because I can't afford to semi-retire.
Right. So I know exactly. You don't. The luxury that some people have to decide this on their own. I mean, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, he kind of takes time off anyway, so he knows how to take time off.
Maybe, yeah. That I hope so. It's because
you've told me he does. He he'll take off a certain amount of time to be with family and then go.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true. But I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know what any of us will do if we're not doing stand up. Honestly, like I don't know.
I love doing stand up, but I could see just at one point just going back to the Bay Area, and I'll just pop up a little open mics. I'll just be like the old lady who used to do comedy, who still does it every once in a while. And maybe, some 19-year-olds are like, oh, wow. Did you ever meet Bill Hicks? Or I don't know. You know what I mean? But
It'll be
I
Bill
love-
Burr, but yes.
I love performing, but I hate this. And when you have enough spots, you're doing okay. And then when you don't, you're like, it feels like the bottom has dropped out. The industry has moved on. Nothing's happening. And I'll never get to perform again. And that's how it feels right now.
Let's take a second break on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I, for some reason, have not been able to sit down with my notebook and write down the big set list in a while.
Mhm.
I'm sort of cribbing off of old set lists, but I've got bits that I want to actually not just write out bullet points and stuff. I want to write out actual lines.
Right.
It doesn't have to be prose. I don't have to and I certainly don't want to type it. You know, typing stand-up is always an irritant to me. That's why I have actually hired younger comics to transcribe all of my albums so that I don't have to.
Right. You can get a free transcription. Not that I want to take work away from younger comics, but
This was 10 years ago before you
I
could.
see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
And what I use the transcriptions for is I use it for the new album, just to figure out if I've actually said certain lines before.
Oh, I see.
Just to make sure, because if I do duplicate a line, like right now I am duplicating a line from I think 2 albums ago,
Mhm.
but it's the glue that gets me where I need to go.
Mhm.
And one line, I'm not going to sweat it. And if anybody cares, no, no, you don't get to care. So sad, too bad. Thank you for listening to all of my albums with a fine-tooth lice comb, looking for repeated verbs. So.
Yeah, the other thing is that being under a microscope like that. I mean,
I can do it.
When
They don't get
when we
to.
started comedy, nobody paid attention to comedy. Nobody cared. There was no comedy critics. There was nobody writing about it unless you were a massive superstar like Steve Martin or somebody. Like you had to almost bleed into music popularity before anyone in like Rolling Stone or something would care about you. And now everyone is so obsessed with comedy, and they pour over. If they're fans, they pour over every word a comic says.
Right. Boo.
But no one, I don't think anyone pours. You know what's weird? Like when this Paste magazine, magazine website, they reviewed my album, or they reviewed Cis Woke Grief Slut, and this woman didn't like one bit, and she's like, I hated this bit, and I almost fell asleep during it. I'm like, during a 3-minute chunk, you almost fell asleep? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But then you woke up again after the chunk. You sensed when the chunk was over and you woke up.
I think you have narcolepsy, ma'am. That doesn't have anything to do.
I know.
I fell asleep. Why didn't you just? Did you think it was? I don't
know. It could be like, oh, you didn't like that one. I guess what? I have like an hour's worth of material. But the thing is, like, I know you didn't almost fall asleep. You didn't like it.
Much like the Midwest, wait 10 minutes, the weather will change.
But then I didn't post that clip for a long time, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to make everyone fall asleep. And then I did post it, and a lot of people really liked it, and no one complained that they thought it sucked or anything.
Right?
So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so I posted this rant because I could not get to sleep the 3 o'clock in the morning. I had this recurring loop. I have these dreams that they just play over and over again, especially on nights when I have to get up really early and I wake up worried that I've missed my flight. So when I fall back asleep, I'll have the same dream again.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
I call them loop dreams. I think somebody else, they might be like lucid dreaming. I don't care. But the dream is that I was somewhere and there was ICE DHS people.
Mhm.
and they were like trying to get somebody. They were like, "We're with ICE. You should come with us." And so I just went up to them in my dream and I said, "I'm with the FBI and I'd like you to stand down." And they said, "What?" And I said, "I'm with the FBI and I need you to step away from this person." And they were like, "Well, show me some ID." And I said, "I'd like to see your ID." And then they went away in the dream
Interesting.
because none of us had any fucking ID. And then when I finally got that part of the dream, like the third time I had that dream that night, or
Mhm.
I don't know how many times, but I had the next part of the dream where it was like an epilogue where essentially we find out that they were with Department of Homeland Security, and I was being sentenced to 10 years in jail for impersonating a federal officer.
Wow.
So it was a nightmare. It was a very disturbing dream nightmare.
I just wonder, I ask our listeners, did you think it would take 491 episodes for Jackie to start telling me about a dream on our podcast? Or did you think that would come at 500 or even a million? Because we've lost the plot, clearly.
Here's what I'd like to ask: if anyone wants to interpret that dream, there's never any mystery, by the way, when I have a dream that means something. Gee, Jackie, are you worried about something? There's never any mystery. It's always so obvious what's going on. I'm a very simple person.
It's not, you don't dream in metaphor. It's very obvious.
No, I'm not cryptic. There's nothing cryptic happening. No.
That's interesting. So your subconscious is also Midwestern. you don't
Why
have,
wouldn't it be?
You don't have a French subconscious that goes into black and white and imagery or anything like that. It's still breakfast at Applebee's and sliders, call soda pop, etc.
I don't know why we have to get insulting. I don't know why this all of a sudden the Midwest means that I go to Applebee's. Do I look like a deer? I'm not interested in a salt lick. See my published works. That's one of my jokes.
Well, you know what? That sort of reminds me of this reporter Ken Klippenstein. He published the manifesto of the guy who killed those two Jewish people in front of the Israeli embassy, I think in DC. I think it's whatever. Immediately visited by the FBI, and he's allowed to do that. It's not a crime or anything like that. I mean, the FBI, they're not good guys anymore. I don't know if they were good guys, if they were considered apolitical, but they're not. They're political now, even if they don't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the FBI agents that called his lawyer and ended up subscribing to his newsletter. He posted all about it. That's one of the independent reporters that I subscribe to, you guys. Again, since Trump came after Media Matters, I think I went to, I don't know, $10 a month at Media Matters or something. But I try to pepper it in because these people are under attack.
Yeah, they are. And got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Anything, quite honestly. Maria posted this thing. She's like, because she had said on stage just impromptu a couple of weeks ago, she said, doesn't matter if you're any good at it, just fight fascism however you can.
Yeah.
And so she posted this thing with a poster of her next gig, and she said, "Fight fascism however you can. Good luck out there. See you in Rochester, maybe." And she got a bunch of people, just not a bunch, but several people who were like, "You were great till you went political." You're like,
really? Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
I was like, oh, I also got a DM. Someone's one of the younger comics was like, "Hey, I posted a video and everybody called me fat and it hurt my feelings." And I said, and I went and I looked at it. I was like, everybody didn't call you fat. Some people called you fat. Feel free to delete. I delete every post that I don't want to respond to.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's my page.
Well,
So-
what I have found I posted that bit about Gen X men and Joe Rogan and listening to Joe Rogan, whatever, and they have brain damage, etc.
And it blew up.
Yes. But a lot of the people, a lot of women read all the comments the men make, and they just to go like that. That's also part of the experience, is to see men get so angry about it. So I don't know. Sometimes those bad comments will keep people on your page, and
Right.
then that the Instagram likes that. So
Right. Yeah, and if it were if it's a like if they're responding with a response to like the guys are saying, oh, you're saying this about men, and I have this to say about women, and then there's like 19 replies from women going, she's right. Look in
Yeah,
the mirror.
right, yeah.
Stop talking.
Mhm.
And in my case, I might do the most vague, mediocre, like married dick joke. And some guy will write, look, it's another woman talking about sex. Delete. Nope, not it.
Sometimes I reply to those.
Yeah.
Like I'll say there's so many other clips where I'm not talking about sex. If you're interested, I can. And then they just kind of they go away.
Right. If I have for some free time, I've also made a commitment to not, especially on travel days, not responding to anything on the internet until after I have had breakfast or coffee or a moment to just start my day, so that I'm not a complete, like, they're not comics. I could eviscerate them, and I'm not, what did Steve Hofstetter used to, it was like destroys heckler. I could destroy these people. But or could I don't know, it's early in the morning. I don't want to be mean though, so I don't feel like doing it.
Jackie, you do want to be mean. You wish you didn't want to be mean.
You want to encourage me to be mean.
I'm just saying, my son and I are watching Dexter, and he's constantly like trying not to be himself. And Jackie, I'm telling you, there's a serial killer in you, and stop fighting it. Let it do what it wants to do.
Episode 491, the last episode. Yeah, I was watching Harry Wild the other night, and it's a comedy, but it's also a murder mystery with Jane Lynch, right? It's one of the BritBox. And they've come to the third season where they have to do a whole arc. Like, instead of Monster of the Week, they got to have a serial killer who knows where they live.
Oh, the whole
and you're
thing,
like,
right.
I'm like, I would like to stab both of you, because you writers just go to the circus.
Oh, Jackie, if you want to get mad at writers, you got to watch The Blacklist. It is
not it.
insane. They have done so many times where someone calls like someone and says, hey, you got to get out of the house right now. So-and-so's coming after you. And then before the sentence is finished, so-and-so stabs him in the head. Or whatever. It's happened at least 5 times and I'm only on like season 4. Guys, there's got to be another way to do this. It enrages me, but I don't know. The performances are so good. I'm like, oh, all right. I mean, they know what they're doing. They were on the air for a long time. It's the kind of formula that people love, or I don't know, maybe they love to hate it. I think that their audience actually didn't mind that at all. And it's driving me nuts, but I love James Spader. He's so good.
That's cool. It sounds cool anyway. My brother Russ just tried to make me watch a movie from 1946 called Kiss of Death. And I was like, I gotta go do a podcast. Try not to make me watch some sort of murder noir thing that is going to keep me up. Who knows what the loop dream's going to be tonight? You can't tell.
I guess we'll hear about it on episode 492.
Finally, a reason. I feel like at 59 minutes,
love it.